Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. This one is called It Happens Again, It Happens Once More Again, in a place that is known as Essex District, Richmond, which is in St. Mary, where a 21-year-old lady known as Dejanae Petergay Graham, an assistant teacher employed to the Beecham High Infant and Primary School. She resides in Essex District, Richmond, St. Mary. She was taken out by her boyfriend, who is about 23-year-old. He's a police. His name is Patrick Walters, date of birth 8/07/2002. He's attached to the St. Andrew Nard Police Division, assigned to Operational Support Team OST. Based on information, it is said that the couple that have been involved in a relationship for 2 years or so, they were in Kingston when there was an argument developing over some phone call that Petergay had gotten. Apparently, the officer thought that somebody was in his gunga walk and he did not accept the explanation that she was giving him. It is said that when they reached back to St. Mary at the house that they share with the young lady's mother, so the mother was there, the argument escalated. The policeman then took out his government-issued tool and blazed up the lady a couple of times. Him then turned the government issue upon himself, bust one up in the upper crown. However, he was rushed to the hospital. He is in serious but stable condition. So therefore, he failed to send himself to the afterlife. The young girl's body was seen there pretty much DEAD on the spot. Now, people, there's a saying that goes something like this: policeman get the most bun, policeman get the most bun. Don't know if it is scientific, don't know if it is mythical. Like them say, white man can't jump. However, in the last 8 or so Olympics, we've seen that white men have medal or even won the high jump in all those 8 Olympics. Some just say, maybe it is just road talk. And you know, say road talk is not scientific, but that is a story for a next day. Now, people, a lot of time when you find some people kind of quiet, which people claim this man is, like them say, still river, it runs deep. You don't know what is going through their mind, and based on what they say, this man does not have a violent history. Well, maybe behind closed door, maybe the arguments that he has been having with this young lady. And people, I am going to say something that is controversial. Whenever you pick up somebody, make sure that you are compatible with that person. That means, if you are a quiet person, homebody, you probably don't want to get a girl that like the hype life, that wants to go out and party all the time, have a whole bunch of Sketelina friends and family that is always influencing her. Peer pressure. Disclaimer before I proceed. Not to say if this girl was out and about, partying all the time and giving away the pumps, that would have justified this man taking her out. Me not say justified by any stretch of the imagination, but me just say something not justified again, push this man, flip this man lid, that the argument started in a Kingston, go all the way at St. Mary. I have driven, you seen me on the road all the time, hour or two. And then when you reach, it escalate again, right now the house where the girlfriend mother was. So the mother would have heard the argument, and the mother, worse, would have heard those explosions. At the end of the day, 2 set of family, friends, co-workers are in mourning because of a decision that was made because of a disagreement of giving away the pumps, etc., etc., etc. A very tragic incident. The tragic thing is that this is not an isolated incident. We've seen many instances in which members of the armed force, JC of Jamaica Constabulary Force or JD of Jamaica Defense Force, are in all sorts of hot water because of domestic violence turned DEADLY. Such is the case in this case, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news based off the pictures and the edited video that you saw at the start of this is of an incident that took place close to the rear in a Ocherias Miami Bay in the vicinity of Greenwich Acres at about 1:45 p.m. in the evening, obviously, where it is said that a passenger and a taxi driver were taken out. Based on the information, it is said that that taxi was coming from St. Anne's Bay. Upon reaching the vicinity of Greenwich Acre, two men alighted from the vehicle, apparently. One blazed up the taxi driver and one blazed up the passenger. Based on the edited version of the video, which I cannot show because of YouTube's policy, one man was seen in our back seat, slumped over, pretty much his ground on the head. The door was ajar, open, that means. Did not see what happened to the taxi driver, but apparently he was also conned up. It is said that the suspect then ran across the road, went into a getaway vehicle and headed to Ocherias, which is the opposite direction, or the direction in which the taxi was headed in the first place. Now, people, when you hear stuff like this, don't know if the man at the back seat was the target and the driver was just victim of circumstance, collateral damage, so that he would not be a witness. But whatever the case is, it is a very tragic chain of events. This speaks volume of a targeted hit. This speaks that this was well planned, well coordinated, well masterminded, because the men were coming from St. Anne's Bay. Upon reaching that vicinity, after they did their do, them run across the street to a waiting vehicle. That vehicle then sped off in a direction of Ocherias. Gone with the wind, such is a life of two. So that tells me that it's either is somebody what them know, somebody that they've been in business with. I doubt it very much that the taximan had nothing to do with it. He was just caught in the crossfire, literally. As a matter of fact, they initially took him out so that, like them say, dead men tell no tale. Two people gone to the afterlife. So the moral of the story is this: whenever you are involved in a badness, it don't pay. It might pay for a little while, but don't be penny-wise and life foolish. The same people where you and them sit down and talk about who them take out, who them can out, who them rob, just remember it can come around and turn on you just like the tables. And then you will also be a victim of one of those stories that they told. Call it the polar side of the story that has yet to be told or has never been told until it is too late. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is an update about a story that I spoke about yesterday about an alleged businessman from Westmoreland known as Gavin Myers, 37-year-old. Well, let me just be straight. He is a legitimate businessman / drug dealer, gun runner / chopper. Ex or present, don't really know. It does not matter. Criminal element, in the worst sense of the word. So we heard that he was abducted, went to his car dealership which he runs, and he was taken out maybe about 6:45 to 7 a.m. in the morning, crack of dawn, and 3 men pull up heavily harm, took him, abduct him, fling him in a vehicle, Mark X, that is chopper vehicle again. In most cases, when choppers, drug dealer and such get abducted, held for ransom, them usually don't make it home. Them usually end up in the afterlife. However, as luck would have it, it seems as if Mr. Myers, through one of his associates, paid that $5 million ransom that was demanded, and he was set free. Now, when I first heard about this story, I said to myself, I wonder if Mr. Myers I try pull off a fast one because him either him knows that the police dep on him tip, or him knows that the people him cross the water, the feds that is hot on his trail. Well, it seems as if, based on what they are saying, he was abducted by some criminal element. More than likely, you would think that they are criminal elements. However, I have heard about this story long time ago, well, last year, early last year, over a year. Somebody sent me the information, like you see, the videos that are playing in the background. I did not hear about the story. Then run past social media to download pictures and videos. I had these all the time, just a wait. As a matter of fact, I had sent the information to the police in a Darliston, to the police in a Westmoreland. They never got back. But what I heard is that he has most of these police, high-ranking and low-ranking, in pocket or on the payroll. So therefore, he would silence them with cash, silence of the lamb or the pig, whichever one you want to call it. Now, people, when me hear say him get abducted, me I said to myself, but this man in a film era is what you would consider the Don or the kingpin. The top of the totem pole, the arca amongst fishes and sprats in the chopping world. So therefore, it does not get any sorts of bigger than that. So who could order? Who would have the backbone, the spine for do something like this? And then let him free and know the power that he has in not only the underworld, but also with the police. Like me say, him have the police them wrap around him finger. We are talking about Escobar. We are talking about El Chapo. We are talking about the Jamaican version. Drug dealer, gun runner, and chopper of the highest order. So I said to myself, something does not sound quite right. I wonder if those alleged gunmen are alleged police, are police indeed. Because who would really have the galls and intestinal fortitude to pull off such an act? And the fact that once that $5 million was paid, he was then released without incident. Them never take him away. People, if you ask me, and this is no conspiracy theories, this is based on my knowledge of the street and my knowledge of how the police operate and my knowledge what is going on with that incident and many other incidents that involve corrupted police. There was an incident in an Orcharius the other day, and I have the video in which the police could have been seen, or the police could be seen, a clot a man up, a box a man up, and I lick him with the gun, meaning the back part of the M16 rifle or whichever rifle them carry. I box up the man. And then when I asked, I said, then hold on a minute, what the man they do so? It is said that the police have been taxing this man. This man live a foreign. This man they are Jamaica. This man is a top baller from back in the days till right now. Him a build house, mansion, him have all sorts of car. Him a beard him dog in a champagne. Him a give the police their money whenever he feels. Them always a taxing. Them coming like a buzzard. Them coming like a pest. Them coming like a tick span dog or cowboys. Them attacks the man and the man get frustrated and ask them, where you follow me for? Them getting them feelings and beat up the man. That is the police I am talking about. So I say this to say that the same way in which extortionists act is the same way in which a lot of these members in the police force act. So fast forward to Mr. Gavin Myers, I would not be surprised, as a matter of fact, if I was a betting man, I would say that it was the police that abducted this man. Make sure say him give them the money because he has been making all sorts of promises. And people, like I said, It is not as if this man is hiding. It is not as if this man is moving stealth. This man promote all sorts of party. This man is always seen out in all sorts of high-end vehicle. This man rents and sells. Use video him say him a artist, he is a criminal of the highest order. So the police them know, the police them dep on them payroll. So the police them say to themselves, so I make so much money and we're quiet, I give you so much hush money. We want $5 million cash, so therefore we are going to take him out, and then whenever he releases that money, we are going to release him. Such is the case. If you know a more likely, credible scenario, then let me know in the comment section. That is just my views. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called "You Cannot Tame the Hyena. You cannot tame the wolves. You cannot tame the snakes. It is in their natural instincts to do evilous stuff." But it seems as if a man in about him 50 or 60, government name Kevin Johnson, known as Scarly, Scary, Scaly, whatever the hell you want to call it, does not matter. He is gone. Based upon the information, an ex-businessman, contractor, / drug dealer, / criminal element, / hype man, end up losing his life. It is said that he is from the Papine area. However, he was taken out in Rallington town where they vanish. Clowns like these. Based on the information, it is said that he was probably more than likely set up by a girl or set up by people that he thought respected him because him have money, him have clothes. However, when you're giving these hyenas and snake your money, yeah, them kind of calm, you can buy out them loyalty, buy out them being nice, being friendly to you. However, when you start to hold back, and then them account your money in your pocket, and them a say, you know, break bread, they are going to want to break off some corner you. Them are going to want broke your neck, broke your foot, broke your life, send you to the afterlife. It is said that, and I have the two pictures of him in a better times and pictures of him in a worse time. When he was seen laying on the ground, red run through him ears, through him mouth, through everything, obviously, him get one of those things that took off his crown, literally. Dethroned him, relegated him from life to the afterlife. Moral of the story, like I've always said, loose lips, lose life. Hype, take away your stripe, and worse, take away your life. These people don't understand. Like I've always said about the ghetto, yes, respect where you're coming from, remember where you're coming from. But as soon as you can get the opportunity to get out of the ghetto, you should. And don't go back. Not to say turn your back, make them meet you somewhere safe. But people like this always want to go back. They always want to be the big fish in the little pond. Because them like the hype. Them like people I say, them are the big man. Them like the girls and what them get. However, the same people that are there understudy realize, hold on a minute, all of them girls are gravitate to him because him have the money. Jealousy is going to set in sooner or later. It is in their natural instincts to do what they do. And that is what they did. They done him. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, and this is based on an article that I got through WhatsApp, and it says, 5-year-old boy is found, you know what, and his dad remains missing after inner tube accident on the Ohio River. Obviously, Ohio is in United States, not Jamaica. However, it appropriately applies based on what we see transpiring in the news in a real life on social media in Jamaica, where a lot of persons have been losing their life at the river, at the sea, in a ditch, in a storm drain, them drowned, like them say, in the ghetto. Now, people, first thing first, if you cannot swim, you have no reason to be in a water, meaning in a sea, in a river, in the deep. Don't make it past your ankle. If the water pass your ankle, don't make it past your knee. Definitely not your waist. Definitely not chest high. Don't make people tell you, say, come on, live a little because you can die fast. If you do not know where you are at, and if you overestimate your lack of swimming ability and not drowning ability versus the ability of Mother Nature. Well, apparently, this father went with their son or his son, and him tell himself, say, well, we're going to sit down on the tube, and the water are going to carry away, and we're going to be A-okay because that is what we were told. However, obviously, something did not go according to plan. The script was not followed by Mother Nature. And it flip over, and the water send them adrift. Them find the little boy, obviously, you know what, and then the father, yet to be discovered on the Discovery Channel. Now, people like me say, I consider myself to be a good swimmer. However, there are conditions and situations that I won't put myself in. And if I am there with a significant other or my mother, and I said to that person, don't go there, so, sister, the river or the sea, the waves them high. I am expecting that person to comply because I myself as a swimmer and knowing that they are probably not a swimmer, and you give them advice and them say, no man, me just want to take a picture for the gram, I want to put it on social media, I want my friend them sister me have a good time. Now people, if it is my mother, I would probably risk my life to save her life, and if it is my significant other, I am hoping that my mother and my significant other would actually listen to me. So therefore, when people get themselves in a problem that they are not supposed to be in, them can only blame themselves. And I understand life is stressful, and I understand that people want relief. But you have to know where you are compatible with, as in land versus sea, whether a river, whether a sea. A conversation with the sea and the river, you need to see yourself out of it. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.